Blood Blockade Battlefront. We could very well be looking at one of the best anime of 2015, my friends. This brand new series, Blood Blockade Battlefront, also known as Kekkai Sensen, definitely blew my mind. I really didn't know what to expect from this series whatsoever. I went into it completely blind, and I gotta say, the last couple minutes of this episode completely solidified the fact that this is gonna be one of the greatest action anime ever made. So, let's talk about the world of Blood Blockade Battlefront. It actually takes place in this city called Jerusalem's Lot, which originally was New York City. That was until this weird portal opened up, and suddenly all these weird monsters and magical creatures came out of nowhere, started wreaking havoc, and just became a part of the normal city life. The entire city is then covered by fog, and you get to see that the people and the weird magical monsters and creatures just happen to live in harmony, except when they're not killing each other with weird big-ass missiles that explode out of their arms. In order to combat these creatures, there is this specialized team known as Libra, or maybe Libra. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced. All I know is this group of characters are awesome. They have some really great designs, and they seem to fight with blood. At least that's what I've seen from two of the characters in this episode. But it also focuses on this one character by the name of Leonard Watch. He seems like he's going to be the main character of the show, and he seems like he's the rookie in town. He's there to help out his sister. And what I really love about this character, at first when I saw him, he seemed like he was going to be like Brock from Pokemon, or Gila from the Seven Deadly Sins, where his eyes are going to be closed the entire time, but this is actually a plot point that comes into play at the very end of this week's episode, and it was pretty shocking and something that I honestly didn't expect, because apparently at some time in the past when he was in New York City and this big event went down, there was this big, nasty, almost Pacific Rim looking alien that came out, and it seems like he gave him these special abilities. Basically, he has the eyes of God. It's pretty freaking extreme. But let's talk about Libra. These guys are awesome. They're teased at the beginning of the episode when they're fighting against these countless demons and monsters, and they're all awesome. They have great designs. Let's talk about the first big guy by the name of Klaus. Klaus von Reinhardt, to be exact. This guy's gonna put some freaking hair on your chest. He literally looks like a damn werewolf with his underbite and fangs. I especially love the way he fights because he has these brass knuckles, which are in the shape of a cross, and he actually uses blood in order to power up his attacks. It's called the Brain Blood Battle Grid system, and that is just awesome. I especially love this one scene where he's fighting against these group of robots and just completely destroys them. Yes, this series also has robots. Probably my favorite member of the team thus far, and that's only because he completely stole the show in the action this week, is Zap Renfro. He's actually a really cool character because, one, he's a swordsman, and two, he's voiced by the same actor as Zoro from One Piece, and that's so fitting. If you watch a lot of One Piece, the minute you hear this guy talk, you're gonna know it's Zoro. But I love the way he fights. He has this like weird little butane lighter which is filled with blood, which suddenly explodes into this like bloody mess. It turns into this awesome flame looking sword, and he can actually use this in battle and turn it into explosives, and he really shows off his skills in this action scene at the end where he fights against this barrier demon, and the animation during this sequence was just beyond amazing. Not only in just the way he was attacking, but this weird barrier demon, which was running around on one leg, could actually materialize and dematerialize its body, and the way they actually did that animation just looked so good. It almost looked hand-drawn, and that's what I really appreciated about this. But really, it's that final action scene that you're probably just going to love from this episode, but the characters themselves seem just as intriguing. There's also Chain Sumeragi, the very ninja-esque member of Libra. She seems like she's going to be like the reconnaissance member, and she's really quick and nimble, and there's a scene where she's chasing a mock monkey. Don't know what a mock monkey is? Watch the episode. The episode ends with Leonard Watch joining Libra, becoming the next member of their group. I'm sure his eyes are going to be very helpful in their battle against tons of monsters, mutants, and all types of weird creatures. So what's the rundown? On the very first episode of Blood Blockade Battlefront, it was metal. This was not what I was expecting at all. I've been trying to stay away from a lot of the information about this show. From what I've understood, it has something to do with the creator of Trigun, like maybe they were involved with maybe the character designs, or maybe they are the creator of the show whatsoever. I might be wrong about that, but still, This episode right here was just great. It was a great way to introduce the world by just going completely batshit crazy with it. They threw you right into it. Just the weirdness, the creatures, the aliens, they're all over the place. And just the fact that they just hang out with people like it's normal everyday thing just makes it really, really funny. And I love the fact that it's actually set in New York City. I think that's a really nice and interesting change. It's always nice to see a Japanese interpretation of arguably the most famous city in the world. And what I really also just can't wait to see is just to learn more about these members. Libra, they're all really awesome. They're all very distinct in their character design. Klaus is awesome. The first time I saw him, I was convinced he was going to be my favorite member just because he's just big and badass in that freaking design. The cross brass knuckles, that's just so freaking cool and unique. And that also reminds me of Trigun with the whole, you know, Wolfwood thing. You guys need to check out Trigun. If you haven't seen Trigun, it's awesome. But then, of course, there's Zap. And at first, I was almost ready to hate this character. He almost seemed like he was going to be an antagonist. But the minute you saw him, like, working it at the very end, just destroying that barrier demon, just... oh man, the animation there, guys, so amazing. Just the way it looked when he was constantly cutting up its body, ripping off its arms, and then it suddenly brought itself back together, slamming it against the wall with all the explosions. Just, the camera sweeps. Everything was so good in that action scene, and I really hope that they're going to be able to keep that quality throughout this entire series, because that can make or break this series, I think. I really think they need to just keep that quality up if they want to keep their viewers on board. But then again, this is also a series that is based on a manga, which I've never even looked at. Maybe I'm going to have to check it out because this is pretty freaking badass. All I know is I really like this episode, but I need to learn a little bit more about the world. I need to see more how the actual series is going to develop. What I will say is the first episode was beyond exciting, and if you love action anime and really great character designs and an incredibly unique world, check out this show. This might be one of the hits of 2015. It's Blood Blockade Battlefront Kekkai Sensen. Check it out, guys. I'm giving the very first episode a 5 out of 5. Probably my favorite new show of the spring 2015 anime season. Check it out. It was badass. Thank you guys for watching my review of Blood Blockade Battlefront. Please tell me what you thought about the very first episode of the series. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you have a favorite member from Libra? What do you hope to see from this brand new action-packed anime series? Before you guys leave, make sure to also subscribe to the channel, follow us on social media, and thank you guys again for watching. And as always, stay dandy, baby.